here we're going to be looking at a function that is a semicircle function, and we want to find the transformations in it as well as graphing and finding its domain and range. So first off, if you recall, semicircle functions, they're usually written in a way such that we can, kind of read off the radius of this semicircle. This number here usually is expressed as a square. That way we identify that the radius is going to be 3 units. Okay, then we have a minus x plus 2 squared, and then a minus 5. So if you recall, the original does not have this value here or this value here, but we do know that they are going to shift our function. So the first one will shift it left 2 units. Oops. Get rid of that. 2 units. And the second part, this pi over here, will be down 5 units. And again, this number here is just the radius of our circle. So what does this look like? Well, if we look at the original, and I'm not going to do the best job here. There is my x-axis, there is my y. Let me lock that into place. And, I just draw half circle, something going like this. Not the best, but good enough. It goes from 3 to 0 all the way to -3 and +3 up here. So that's the original without being transformed. But now I'm going to move everything over 2 and then down 5. So it's like taking this graph, let me just make a copy of it, and moving it back 2, so let's say 1, 2, and then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is where our graph ends up. Again, it's not stretched or compressed. We'll look at that later, but let me just draw a broken line here to identify the center of the circle, which is over here. And it's just like the transformations that we applied to every single point. So 0 is going to go to -2, 5. This point here is going to be 1, -5. -5, and this part over here is going to be -5, -5. And this point here, what is that, back 3? Back 2. So -2, -2. Yep. Okay, so there's our graph. To get the domain and range, we just look at all the x values for which this function makes sense. And this is a closed bound, okay? It goes from one end to the other, and it's everything in between here. Okay, so that's going to be our domain. So domain is going to be all real numbers x, such that x, let's write this more compactly, is going to be between -5 and +1. Again, just look at on the x-axis where it goes to from here to here. On the y-axis, it's going to go from -5, so the range is going to be, let's use the variable y, all y values greater than -5 and less than or equal to the value of -2. So there's our domain and range for our semicircle function.